Blizzard. You were once considered one of the greatest alongside Bethesda, Bungie, and so many other studios. However, you've done a lot of things over the years to willfully take yourself off the pedestal, and what you've done recently with Overwatch 2 speaks volumes to that. So without further ado, select your favorite character and run up those skin packs as we dive into Overwatch 2. And if you enjoy what you see today, be sure to sub to the channel. Okay, let's continue. Before we begin, let me explain what Overwatch is for the uncommon folk in the room. Overwatch is a hero-based first-person shooter franchise developed by Blizzard Entertainment. 2 teams of 5, formerly 2 teams of 4, complete in various objectives that include moving the payload to standing on a point for 2 rounds. Now you're probably asking yourself, what kind of shit did Blizzard get themselves into? And for you, I have an answer. They essentially went from making Overwatch to Overwatch 2 for one purpose only. Well, money, yes, but it was to include bigger and better things. One of those being the hero mode for PvE. In fact, that's the only thing that made them create Overwatch 2 was the hero mode. I didn't really play Overwatch myself. I only played it once on the Xbox One and called it quits there, and maybe you can see that in the gameplay on screen. But when I heard of the PvE mode and them going free to play with the game, I was a little hyped. I wasn't going to be missing much since it's a damn near direct one-to-one copy of the first game, but it's still pretty cool nonetheless. Well, as of about 24 to 48 hours ago, depending on when this video goes up, Blizzard have decided to yank the hero mode out of the game. But Blizzard, you said that there was going to be a hero mode.
I lied.
So let's dig in a little bit and figure out why this is. We're going to be using this GameSpot article where they spoke to game director Aaron Keller and executive producer Jared News from Blizzard about why they removed the hero mode. I'll leave the entire article link below. Let's dive in. The first thing GameSpot asked Aaron Keller is, hey, is it correct to say you're not doing PvE anymore? Aaron Keller responds with this. I think I would characterize it slightly differently, which is we are doing part of what the team had set out to do, but not the entirety of what was discussed back at Blizzcon 2019. So the real focus is on the story missions and that experience as opposed to the more open-ended hero mode and that stuff. One thing I did see were people trying to say that the entirety of PvE is canceled, so if we're taking this at face value, it's just the hero stuff that's being scrapped, which is still as stupid as a JPEG with a dollar value attached to it. The hero mode would have contained things like a skill tree, individual talents. I even heard a progression system of some kind, which is pretty damn cool. Something to attract the casual players who don't care much for the PvP, but for those that still want to feel like their time isn't being valued to that of a goddamn earthworm. Moving along, the most important question is why? Why did they do it? Well, Aaron Keller said a lot, but I'll try to condense it a bit. Yeah, this was a process. We had a really large portion of our team working on the PvE side of that game, and I think players over our live running game could feel that because we eventually stopped making content for it. It's been maybe 2.5 years since the last hero that we launched, and we don't want to be at the point where it's another 3.5 years since launching a PvP map. Let me stop you right there for now. It's been 2.5 years since any content dropped? What the fuck have y'all been doing besides being sued? He continues saying, the interesting thing about it is, it's such a difference releasing content for players that are playing your game instead of saving up all that content for one big release that you're going to do later. It was about 1.5 years ago that we made the decision to really shift strategy. That's when we rapidly shifted the resources on our team to work on launching Overwatch 2, and that's what came out last October. Now, I know they had delayed the hero mode once Overwatch 2 got released, but from the sounds of it, it seems like they may have made up their mind before Overwatch 2 was even released. You know, thanks for the transparency on that one, Blizzard. Appreciate it. The next question, I'm just going to read word for word because it's a bit difficult to sum up. I think there's going to be a lot of frustration around how we got here because Overwatch has always been a live game. So people are going to think, well, you knew this was a live game, yet you pitched this other Overwatch game, and then also you justified the 2 on the Overwatch title with that. So we're in a situation now where the game is what it always has been. It's evolved in some ways, but a sequel was released and that sequel's justification hinged on the PvP. Why did that happen? That is a fair ass question. Everyone didn't get the point of Overwatch 2. I sure as shit didn't, but once I saw that they were going to be doing a bit more, I was like, okay, I can see why they're doing this. Essentially, the answer we got from Keller was him plugging the game and everything going on with it. Like I give an ant's chode at the moment. News comes in and says the following. I think it's interesting thinking about this over time. coming to the team a little bit later and seeing the state of things and building that plan to go forward because the original pitch was this big monolithic thing that releases. It has all this pressure and expectation set against it, and really the decision that we've made was to not walk away from PvE or to totally sort of abandon this side of the game. It's to move into a model that we know we can deliver on. I don't know what it sounds like to you, but to me, it sounds like Blizzard gave up. Like they just straight up Alt F4'd the entire operation. I love how they finish with the whole, it's to move into a model we can deliver on thing, but what does that mean? What does that look like for you, Blizzard? You already showed us that you can't deliver a mode that was announced 4 years beforehand. Why is this new model something you can deliver on? For my final thoughts, all I can really say is that no, they're not doing away with the PvE mode entirely, but they're doing away with maybe the one thing that warranted Blizzard making a sequel to Overwatch in the first place. I think all of us, from the most passive of players such as myself to the most competitive, would have loved to see a PvE mode that had some damn depth to it, because at the end of the day, it would provide an extra level of content. This whole thing just kind of paints Blizzard as these lazy ass devs who couldn't finish a 4-year job, and even if they did, they were like, I don't feel like it, and scrapped it. Your whole premise for a sequel has now been canceled, and the only thing your player base can look forward to now are events and battle passes, much like the first game. Now I turn the mic to you. Let me know down below what you think about this whole shit show. Were you excited for the PvE mode? Do you simply not care? Let me know. And while you're down there, go ahead and slap that like button and repackage that sub button so YouTube can deliver you my content free of charge. This is Sir Blackout signing off to edit a response to Combat Masters, but canceling it because I simply don't have the resources. Later.